comments, gee, I'd like to take a picture of that. She says, well, it really wouldn't reveal very much because it looks exactly the same as the present world really does. She says it would be okay, but you really couldn't expect to get very much. They get back over to the great spacer and they park the ship again in pretty much the same place that they did before. And once again, they take the little floating craft, whatever you want to call it, this little floating platform, and they go back up to the top of the spacer where Ptah is. Ptah immediately senses how excited Billy is from all these experiences he's just had, and invites him to sit down and talk with him a little bit. He explains to him that what's going to happen next is they're going to go back through the barrier, back over into their own universe. And so Billy's looking up in the space, and he can see the big barrier up in front of him there. And Ptah remarks that they're going to go back through the barrier. When they get to the other end, that they're going to have some time. They have to wait when they get through the barrier on the other side, because they have to close the barrier. And when they close the barrier, he says it's automated. The ship is automatically programmed to do that, but it takes about 50 minutes for the actual closing of the barrier. Apparently this barrier, he also explained, was that there are only certain locations that it would be possible to build this barrier. And he didn't specify where those may be. Of course, we wouldn't have any idea what he's relating to anyway. But so they do get through the barrier and they stop. It takes a very short time to get through it, and they pull through. And Ptah mentions that they're going to be waiting now, and if Billy has any questions, that he could be a good time to ask. And Billy says, sure, I got lots of questions. And Semjase remarks, when is there a time when he doesn't have questions? So one of the first things that Billy wanted to kind of talk about was, he says, repeatedly throughout the contacts and even through his other contacts with other races, there's always been the subject all the time of religions, and he understands to some degree why religions can be difficult for people when they become, cult followers, so forth, of certain belief things, and it forces them not to be taking responsibility for themselves. But he also realizes that religion is also like a learning step that people can go through. So he was interested in Ptah's comments about religion. One of the main things that he did comment on says, yes, religions are a learning step, and it is something that everybody has to go through. One of the things they were concerned about, though, is that on Earth, unlike on other planets that go through belief structures and so forth, it had gone so far where religions had become so powerful, they had not seen this happen anyplace else in the universe. The term religion, as they referred to it, this organized Christianity, they had never seen it done quite to that extent. And he remarked that nowhere else in the universe had they seen that happen. His biggest problem with it was, he says, that Christianity had distorted the truth so much that it was interfering really with people's ability to learn. That people were coming into society because of the environment or family they may be born into. They are exposed to Christianity. They are taught Christianity. They believe that what Christianity is telling them, and it becomes like it's a hampering force. It keeps the individual from actually ever getting a chance to understand the truth. That it's not really so difficult to understand the truth about life and so forth, that it exists in nature around us all the time, that the observant person can come to understand more about life if he was just left alone. But in most cases, especially in the Christian world, that's not possible. Okay, I see I'm getting to the end of the tape, so I'll see you on the next side.